great digestion and review of the series if you don't want to waste your time, like me on this mediocre show, I would say, because I like more the original Alan Moore comics, and I like more the original. How it say? I don't know if you call it original, but the 2009 movie by Snyder. And if I want to add for myself, I think this is the only good Snyder film. Other films of that Snyder did are horrible. I didn't like none of them except Watchmen. All the Superman movies are crap. I don't want to talk about Sucker Punch. Let's forget about Sucker Punch. I don't want to talk about other things that Snyder did because, except of Watchmen, nothing of it is watchable. So in the overall, I like the video, I like the themes, but one little thing keeps on bugging me. One small thing. Maybe it's my nitpick. The author of the video always tells that we need to not see stuff in black and white. We need to see stuff in settings in moral gray. That is always a moral gray area. This is always a sum of ambiguous things, ambiguous situations. But always, when he say this thing, he comes back to one simple repetitive thing: white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy, white supremacy. I'm not American. I'm Russian. I don't know so much about this white supremacy. Maybe I understand it, but I see it in other way. We in Russia have, I mean in Israel, but let's pretend that I'm in Russia. We in Russia use other word for these things that he calls white supremacy. We call it communism, leftist authority, but in the end, it's the same fucking shit. I know the author wants to pin down all the evil that he had, all the evil that he think on white supremacy, because all the druggies are Latinos and African Americans and other races. The, the less the less white people are using drugs, but the more other mixed races are arrested for drugs. And war of drug on drugs is a part is like a like a white supremacy trick to get all the other people in jail that are ain't white. This is maybe sound true. This is maybe sound accurate, but for me, I will say it's a lot of like coincidence, unfortunate event, but the things are what they are. So the the other races are very easy for marginalizing. The other races, the other people, African Americans, Latinos, are more susceptible to marginalizing and criminalization. This is, I don't say it's the nature, but this is the social nature that we live in. But to blame it on white supremacists is to cover up the racism against white people. It's also not accurate, because the thing that you aspire in the end is not to repair some injustice, to correct the error. You want to just turn the tables. You want to be black supremacy against white people. I like the moment in the series that in the 30s the police are running out black people and African Americans and oppress them and shit on their rights and stuff and want to kill them. But the irony that in 19 years after that, the black policemen are rounding out white people and they're doing the same shit. But they are righteous heroes in our time, of the time of the series. But those people are assholes because they oppress the wrong people. But if you oppress the right people, you're good. So this is always comes to the fact that we for equality, we are for fairness, but we are for all this for all these things. But white supremacy is bad, and if you are white or looking white, you are part of the white supremacy. Yes, and this, in the video is talking about the boogeyman, how the series created the boogeyman to avoid the problem, the elephant in the room, the how it how it say the main problem. But instead of that, he is doing what Ozymandias is doing. He's trying to blame white supremacy or good politicians that don't do nothing good. But I like what politicians he's picked up. He picked up Clinton's, he picked up Reagan, he picked up Nixon, he picked up the old people that his team is don't like. Why he didn't show Obama? Why he didn't show Roosevelt? Ah, he showed Roosevelt, but Roosevelt helped win the war. Why he didn't show other politicians that are in his side, if he's left, the politicians he like. Maybe the politicians that he like do mistakes too, but he's constructing his narrative. But the funny thing in the video is he's trying to say that I'm against black and white. I'm all for this gray moral area that there's no moral code and no nothing. But in this time, he's trying to enforce his moral code. The thing that in the end of his sentences is always referred to white supremacy, or that the show is not woke enough, that they choose the simple path. It's like you yourself want to eat the cake and keep it whole. I one of the things that I agree with the author of the video, that is about the thing that the justice killed all the Klan's members that want to brainwash and kill the blacks in the 30s. I agree with that. He did the right thing. In this particular scene, the writers of the show are wrong. They did it incorrectly. But for me, this is just one nitpick in the whole picture. I agree with the author that the series is horrible because they're not being paid to do a good series. They not get paid to do a show that's supposed to reflect some political issues. They are making an entertainment product with a deeper meaning in that product that's supposed to hook people with an IQ above 80. This is the point. And in the overall, the video is good. How it say did it don't make me watch the damn series and understand about it more than the series will say about itself. I think the most people is said says his own opinion, and this is okay. I have saying my opinion on this video, and on this series. I think in the end we will forget about the HBO Watchmen series, how we forget about the Death Note movie, because we will always remember the good stuff, the comic books, the Alan Moore novels. And in my humble opinion, this series even worse than what DC did with Watchmen. in the comic books that they blended with the main DC universe, and for me it was a big mistake. I always think that the Watchmen needs to be its own separate thing. Anyways, this is what I have to say. Sorry for my English, it's not that good, but I'm trying to repair it and make it better.